There's only like 7 movies on here, so this will be pretty quick. Um, oh, this guy hates minorities. DCU is mega gay. I agree. Hey, BB boy. Hey. I got, wow. Look at all these. Look at all these little shitheads in the chat. This is gonna be a fun stream. It's gonna be pretty short, but it's gonna be fun. I do have a lot to say for each movie, but it's not gonna be as long as the MCU live stream because that was like 20 something movies. So let me just sit up. Let me just get a little comfortable. Let me get my water bottle right here. Hell yeah. Just take a little. Oh yeah, tastes like pussy juice. All right. I have finals right now. Shit, you should be studying. Don't watch the stream. You need to get smart. Do the DC shows. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not watching those bitch ass TV shows. This like, oh god no. Especially that Batwoman trailer after that came out. Just hell no. All right, I'll start this stupid little tier list once we hit 100,000 subscribers, which means 100 watching. Get 100 viewers. Right now we're at 74, which is it's pretty decent. Now we're at 75. All right, we're getting there. 25 away. It's pretty hot. Or I could just start it now. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let me just start it now. All right, guys. Welcome back to more Weasel Batches videos. Today we're gonna be doing a little tier list here, as you can see. We got a Suicide Squad, Justice League, Shazam, Aquaman, Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, and Batman vs Superman. All very, very good movies. So what I'll be doing is I'm gonna look at the chat, and the first person to name the movie they want me to talk about, I will do it. So yeah, let's see what people are gonna say first. I'll just wait. I see Suicide Squad. Oh, Will Holder got there first. The rest of you below him, y'all are fucking dumb and slow. All right, Suicide Squad. I'm going to put this in the bad category. The reason why it's not utter shite is because I do like the visuals. I do like some of the casting. The plot is fucking stupid. I'll just point that out. The plot is dumb. I did not enjoy the plot at all. It was just the reason why the Suicide Squad was created so they could stop Superman. If another like Superman type person would invade Earth or whatever, but you got a person with a bat, someone who can climb walls, and someone with a fucking boomerang. So it's pretty stupid. I could see like Killer Croc or Enchantress. Can't say her name. I'll just call her Witch Bitch Lady. So Witch Bitch Lady would be in that category. Who else on that team? Diablo. Those are like the only 3 people who would like be reasonable in a stop Superman plan. But besides that, I'm gonna keep going. We also got Will Smith playing Deadshot, which was actually pretty decent. He plays Will Smith, but I still like the casting. He's actually one of the only characters with a lot of depth besides Harley Quinn and Diablo. Everyone else was kind of boring. Captain Boomerang got a laugh out of me sometimes, but other than that, I don't really give a shit about the other people. I did like the character interactions. I did like it was a movie centered around a group of bad guys. But yeah, it's just overall a bad movie. Let's see. I'm gonna wait for the next person to list off a movie, and I will talk about that one. Aquaman. Okay, Mimi and Aziz. Sorry, I don't know how to say your name. I don't speak Arabic. I don't know if that's an Arabic name, but it just looks Arabic. You said Aquaman. Let's talk about Aquaman. I'm gonna put this motherfucker in the good category, and by other like movie standards, it wouldn't be in the good category. It'd probably be like in the okay category. But out of DCU movies, it deserves to be in the good spot. This is a stupid, corny, campy movie, but I liked it. I enjoyed every minute of it. It was funny. They were pretty self aware. I think they were self aware of their own ridiculousness. So they just went balls out and made a very stupid movie. It was honestly, it was. This guy said that one sports show said Aquaman or Black Panther. I was getting to that. Aquaman is basically a better version of Black Panther, and I like it a lot more because they're self-aware. The special effects are actually decent. Okay, they're better than Black Panther, so I wouldn't consider them decent, but they're a lot better than Black Panther, which isn't saying much, but you get what I'm saying. Um, I like how the villain, Ocean Master or Orm, I don't really keep up with Aquaman lore except for Black Manta, so I don't really know his name, but I like how he's kind of over the top. He knows he's in a ridiculous role, so he just kind of shouts a lot, and it's just super hammy. Eats every scene he's in, um, as opposed to Killmonger, who just kind of acts like everything is serious. He underacts, and it's really cringy. And yeah, people are saying it's Orem. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name. I just don't remember Aquaman lore. Shame on me. Yeah, Black Manta was pretty cool in the movie. Jason Momoa is great in anything he's in, for me at least. He's just a man's man, pretty hot, pretty sexy. No homo, of course. And yeah, just overall, Aquaman was a pretty corny movie, but it was very enjoyable. And I will wait for the next person to list the movie right now. Batman vs Superman from Daksh Productions, another Arabic person, I believe. Honestly, I think like any other foreign country is just Arabic. That's just that's just me. What they say? Batman vs Superman. All right. Utter shite. Now, there is good action in this movie, but that's pretty much the only thing to watch it for. Even though the effects are pretty terrible, so the action's not even that great. But in like a superhero movie, it's all right. But God, fuck the effects, the acting, the dialogue, the casting. Oh, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. That gave me a reverse boner. That was not okay. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor is one of the worst casting choices ever. That is the dumbest fucking shit right there. Absolute garbage, dude. Um, good casting in this movie though. Ben Affleck as Batman. That was great casting. The character is written horribly, but the way Ben Affleck portrays Batman is really cool. He's a good Bruce Wayne. He's a good Batman. They completely butchered him in Justice League, but I'll get to that later. And by the way, for those who are going to say Justice League for my next movie review for this video, I'm going to save that for last because, as you can see, I have my own little spot right here for Justice League because I'm about to utterly shit on that movie. But let me take a sip of water real quick. Oh yeah, it tastes like pussy juice. All right. Um, Lois Lane takes up a good chunk of the screen time talking about how, or finding out that Lex Luthor is the bad guy. Just all this investigation and shit. Something Batman should do. No one really gives a shit about Lois Lane. She's a damsel in distress. She gets saved. That's her only role. If Batman did that, it would have made his character a lot more interesting because it betrays him from the comic version of Batman actually being a detective. But gave the role to Lois Lane. I don't know why. It's God damn. This movie's dumb. And like most people, I was pretty hyped when I first saw Zack Snyder show the trailer. Actually, it wasn't even a trailer; it was like a teaser of the Superman logo, showing that's going to be a second Superman movie. And then it switches to a bat symbol, so it's like a combination of the two. That got me so hyped, and I'm pissed off. This movie was garbage. I mean, God, I still cry about it now because I feel like we're never gonna get a movie like Batman vs Superman again because it's already been done. No one's gonna want to remake this really because you have those like stupid fanboys who accept anything. So there's not gonna be enough people to petition for a another Batman vs Superman movie. And if we are gonna get one, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a long ass time. And yeah, I honestly big disappointment. That's why it's in the utter shite category. Overall, it's just a bad movie, but there was so much build up towards this movie. It could have been an amazing movie, and they absolutely butchered it. Zack Schneider fucked it up. Uh, you know what? I'm gonna talk about Lex Luthor as Jesse Eisenberg again because he did have potential to be a good Lex Luthor, like his son or something, like an evil Mark Zuckerberg or something like that. But they they made him the Joker from The Dark Knight because he's acting like he's crazy, and there's like some backstory of him like getting abused by his father. I don't know. It's pussy juice. All right, it's stupid. It's really dumb. Um, and then we. Oh wait, that's actually I was gonna talk about Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor at the end with Slade in the end credits, but that's for Justice League. So I will get to that at the end. Is there anything else I can say that's utterly horrible about Justice League or Batman or Superman? That Martha scene gave me a whole bunch of cancer. Um, like I said before, the acting gave me a whole bunch of cancer. Superman's death gave me a whole bunch of cancer, and Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot cannot act. She cannot act for shit, and she proved it in this movie. She proved it in Wonder Woman, and she proved it in Justice League. She was better in Wonder Woman, but this was an introduction of a very terrible actress, and God, she was shoved in the movie so people could jerk off and be like, "Oh, look, Wonder Woman's in the trailer." Yeah, but yeah, that's the only reason why she was in the movie. Honestly. Um, let's see. People. Okay, a bunch of people are saying Shazam. I'll do this one. This will be quick because Shazam I've already talked about in a separate video by itself. Uh, so yeah, I'll keep it short. Good movie, very funny, very self-aware. It's kind of like Aquaman. And Aquaman was kind of like a combination of Black Panther and Thor Ragnarok, which I never thought would work, but it did. And Shazam is more like a self-aware superhero comedy, um, which is what Aquaman is. But Shazam, I think, is funnier. It's not as campy and corny. At the end, it is, but for the first two acts, it's a pretty self-aware film. It's a pretty funny film. It's really different from a lot of superhero films. I feel like Aquaman was pretty much like any other superhero origin story, but Shazam was something different. I do wish they did different things, like have Shazam or Billy Batson be a Superman fanboy, because that could have led to some really interesting Injustice sequels in the DCEU, but they never really took advantage of that. Also, the two bully characters, I could not stand them. These are the most cliched bully characters ever, and it's fine for a movie to have cliches, but when they're tiring and ridiculous and don't fit in with the time and are just super dated, it's a very poor choice. I mean, these these guys, they run over a crippled kid, then beat him up, and the whole school is just standing there watching, and it's just stupid. It's a stupid scene. This would not fly today. No one's gonna see a crippled kid get ran over by a car and then watch him get beat up and be like, "Oh, whoa, whoa," and just stand there like nothing's happening. I feel like most of the students would jump in and help him. I don't know. Um, I personally have never seen a crippled kid get beat up by two school bullies, but I don't know. I feel like most people would step in. I feel like that would be the right thing to do, or what would happen. It's kind of stupid that they played off the bullies as just no morals. I hate bully characters who have absolute no morals, are just assholes for no reason, and it's just an obnoxious cliche. That is one reason why Shazam to me is not completely rewatchable, because those two bully characters are just completely obnoxious. I mean, it's stupid how evil they are, and just how much of an asshole each of them are. It's stupid. But yeah, that's all I got to say about the flaws of uh, Shazam. Let's see. Yeah, it's an overall good movie, but I mean, I am just so sick of those cliches of bully characters having no morals. All right, next one. People want me to talk about Wonder Woman. All right. Okay. I know people are gonna freak, but I'm gonna put it in the bad category, and here's why. The third act completely ruins the movie for me. The first two acts are okay. It's they actually have a really good message in the second act. It's about how you can't just take out you can't just get rid of everyone's problems by taking it out on one person. But that's exactly what they do in the third act. I, they completely dismiss the moral they were going for, which is actually a really good moral, and yeah, it decreases the quality of the movie for me. Pussy juice. All right, and I guess the action's fine. Gal Gadot still can't act. This is her best acting role in this movie, but fuck, she's just a bad actress. God, she was the worst in Justice League, but again, I'll get to that later. Um, Wonder Woman is not really an interesting character. I think Mara and Aquaman. Sorry if I'm pronouncing her name incorrectly, but I thought she was more interesting interacting with the people of the surface. It was more like what's her name, Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Like as she interacted with the people on the surface and stuff. It was kind of like that, and it's just a cute, entertaining thing. But with Wonder Woman, it was just kind of boring. Um, it's it's just like she sees the flaws in humanity, but sees that they're worth protecting. We've seen that dozens of times. I'm tired of that shit. Um, Chris Pine, he was okay in this movie. Uh, just there wasn't really anything interesting about this movie, and the third act is fucking shit. CGI was shit in the third act. The fight scenes were shit. It's just, and they reuse a shot in the movie. Actually, there's a shot of Wonder Woman like dashing into the camera in some corny fashion, and at the end, the ending shot is her in the same camera shot of her doing that, but with a different background. That's a laziness at its finest. Um, yeah, I'm seeing people just saying overrated in the comments. That's completely true. Wonder Woman was, well, except for Man of Steel, Wonder Woman was like the first DCU movie that was actually tolerable and people could say something good about it. So I feel like people call it like a really good movie out of just like excuse me. Uh Out of what's the word? Fuck it. I'm just gonna say that people wanted to like this movie so much because they were disappointed with the other movies, and they're like, "Oh, look, Wonder Woman can rival the Marvel movies too." I guess it could rival Thor: The Dark World or Captain Marvel, but shit, it's a below average movie to me. Uh, let's see. All right, Man of Steel. People are seeing Man of Steel. Oh, obviously I should do that one because Justice League is supposed to be the last one. Man of Steel's going in the okay category, and uh, personally, this movie was very hit or miss. They did some really cool stuff, and they also did really stupid stuff. I thought Zod was a very entertaining, over the top villain. I don't think he was really written that well. His plan was kind of dumb, but overall, he's like enjoyable at least. That's more than I can say for most of the DCU villains because most of them are boring as shit. Honestly, Shazam, and maybe Aquaman have good villains. Honestly, Enchantress dances around like some fucking idiot. Eris, who's basically the fucking dad from the Thornberries, and Jesse Eisenberg already like butt fucked him with insults, and so you know how I feel about that. Um, yeah, most of the villains are utter trash. And Steppenwolf, oh god, we'll get to that in a second. Steppenwolf gives me the hugest reverse boner ever, but again, I'll talk about it in a second. Man of Steel. I like the origin story. I didn't like how they do this thing a lot of movies do, where they have uh, flashbacks in the middle of the movie. Just tell it from beginning to end. Because once you go back in the flashback, I'm gonna stop caring about the current plot. Because to me, the flashbacks, the scenes were actually decent, a little corny at times, but I still like them. I think they were the better parts of the movie. Uh, Henry Cavill is kind of a boring actor, but then again, Superman is kind of a boring hero when done wrong. When Superman's done right, he is done right. He's a really cool superhero, but I feel like they missed it in this movie. I he's just boring. And the only time they actually shed light on his characters in Batman vs Superman, and they completely botch it up there because they kill him off at the end. I feel like he's less of a character there. The thing that's part of his character is that the issues are he destroys like innocent civilians on accident. He doesn't mean to, but he brings these supervillains to the planet because they're targeting him, and he feels personally responsible for it. But they never really focus on that in Batman vs Superman. Man of Steel had a good setup for character development, but because Batman vs Superman fucked it up, Man of Steel is less of a movie now. Because in Batman vs Superman, Superman's basically like, "Oh yeah, we got problems. I got a problem, but let's not worry about it. I'm just gonna get in this bathtub with Amy Adams here." It's, Zack Snyder fucked it up. He fucked it up. Uh, God damn it, Zack Snyder. Amy Adams was better in this movie than she was in Batman vs Superman, which isn't saying much. Krypton was stupid. It was poorly represented in that movie. Horribly represented. Just a dark, gloomy planet, and I feel like they did a much better job in the animated series and in Justice League, the TV show. But here, it's fucking ugly. It's an ugly ass planet, and uh, I feel like Aquaman and Shazam fixed this a little bit with the color scheming and the lights. Actually, brighten up the movie. I can actually see what's going on. It doesn't feel like a dark, gloomy piece of shit movie. It feels like it's an entertaining superhero movie. Man of Steel takes itself way too seriously, and that's another problem. Aquaman is a corny, campy superhero movie, and excuse me, Man of Steel is just this dark, depressing sludge fest. It doesn't even feel like the same universe at some points. Because I cannot imagine Aquaman in like Man of Steel or something like that. I can imagine something like Batman or Wonder Woman, but not fucking Aquaman, the guy in the orange jumpsuit. um, let's see. What about the 1971 movie? I like it. I think the second one's okay. Third one is shit, and the fourth one is laughably bad. That's what you guys say about the original Superman movies. What are your thoughts on the Dark Knight trilogy? I'm actually gonna make a separate video on that. Someone asked about Logan too. Yeah, those are really good superhero movies. I'll just say they're good movies. I will talk about them in separate videos though. All right, so that's pretty much all I gotta say about Man of Steel. Some of the good things though, I really like the action. I like the side characters. Um, the third act is pretty entertaining. And it has some tragic moments that are pretty hard hitting. But yeah, overall, it's just an okay movie. All right, so we're gonna put this little dinger right here in the spot that's for Justice League. Just gonna take a pause for a moment. Gotta take an intake of pussy juice real quick. This is the worst superhero movie I have ever seen. It is honestly one of the worst movies I have ever seen. Nothing about this movie is good. Um, I hate everyone in this movie. I hate the actors now. Um, I hate the director, John Weiss. I think that's his name. The guy who made the Avengers movie. And it really shows in Justice League because it's pretty much a poor man's version of Marvel's Avengers. I hate the acting, the characters. I hate the actors' families for being related to the people who chose to be in this movie. It is a horrendous piece of shit. It is god awful. There's not one good thing I like about it. So let me explain why this movie is just. Someone said Amazing Bulk was great. Compared to this movie, Amazing Bulk is a fucking Godfather and Schindler's List. Let me just talk about why Justice League is just terrible. This is the first time we got like a live action Justice League movie, I believe. Maybe it was some stupid old one back in the day, but fuck it, I never heard of it. Um, they had the opportunity to make a modern day Justice League movie with some of the most iconic characters, and god damn, they not even the action was good. The choreography was so distractingly bad. I mean, that's not even talking about the CGI being distractingly bad. Holy shit. Superman's mustache. Like, I don't even know where to begin to talk about how bad this movie is. Everything about it is just garbage. Um, Batman. Batman was cool in Batman vs Superman. Again, horribly written, but Ben Affleck did a good job representing the character. He's a goofball in this movie. He's a jokester. He's basically the comic relief along with the Flash. They got him smiling a lot and like cracking jokes. It's not fucking Batman. This is worse than the George Clooney Batman. I would rather watch George Clooney in a Batman suit than Ben Affleck in Justice League. I'm gonna be honest. I'd rather watch Batman vs Robin than Justice League because at least uh, George Clooney's Batman goes through some sort of character arc. He accepts Robin as his equal as opposed to as a sidekick. He sees him as a partner. The Batman in this movie is just there. His purpose is to round up the other superheroes. They have very poor chemistry. Their conversations are not the least bit interesting. It's not funny, charming. It's just obnoxious. And the Flash. That's the Flash in a nutshell. This little shit is the most annoying character in the movie, and he's supposed to be the comic relief. Comic relief can be hit or miss. There is no middle ground. If the comic relief isn't funny, he's gonna be fucking obnoxious, and Flash is fucking obnoxious. Pussy juice. Um, I guess the one little thing I like in this movie is Aquaman or Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Even though he doesn't have any character in this movie at all, he's just kind of there. And shit, I like Jason Momoa. He's hot. He's easy on the eyes. You know what I'm saying? No homo, of course. But yeah, the only good movie is that one good casting choice. Gal Gadot still can't act. If you guys watch that fight scene with the Justice League vs Superman, and she says Kal-El no, is the most cringe-inducing execution of acting. Oh god, she sucks. She fucking sucks at acting. And the characters are like they transfer characters. Here's what I'm saying. Batman, for whatever reason, is supportive of reviving Superman and Wonder Woman isn't. Like, does that make any sense? Batman has always been against Superman. He would be the one to say reviving him would be dangerous. Wonder Woman would be the one saying we have to revive Superman because she, of all people there, knows how dangerous Steppenwolf is, so she would do anything at all costs to stop Steppenwolf. Speaking of Steppenwolf, He's basically a CGI turd. Uh, the most boring villain in any of these superhero movies I've ever seen. I don't remember one thing of dialogue from him. I don't remember uh, what his purpose is. He wants to take over the world so he can jerk off on the mother bucks. I don't know. I really don't care. Um, God, and this came out around when Thanos was big, like when Infinity War came out. God, that movie put Justice League to shame with the villain. Because, God, Steppenwolf is like literally a rotting turd. He's poorly rendered. His motives are stupid, fucking cliched, and there's just nothing good about him. And pissed off because this could have been such a good movie, just as good as Avengers. The costume designs are pretty decent, except for Cyborg. His CGI looks like shit, but I like the costumes. But everything else is garbage. Like they had a good setup, and they screwed it up. How do you screw up a movie that could be so simple yet so good, just like Marvel's Avengers? They didn't take itself too seriously. They didn't, including cringeworthy moments. They just told a story with these superheroes coming together, and it worked out. It's simple. I mean, geez, God. Oh, what else is god awful about this movie? Oh yeah, the CGI. The movie starts with a zoom in on Henry Cavill's CGI'd face, and it's really distracting. People can say, "Oh, I didn't notice it in theaters." Yeah, you did. You can literally see the paint job or whatever they're trying to go for on the fucking like upper lip. Looks like a Dr. Seuss character. I knew something was off about him, and then I remembered, oh yeah, he's got a mustache in that Mission Impossible movie, which was a much better movie. Let me just say, and it just looks so bad. Superman shouldn't have been in this movie because his presence in the movie basically makes the movie pointless. This movie is about the superheroes coming together and joining forces, but there's really no point seeing how Superman can do everything they can all do, but better. Um, yeah, there's really no reason for there to be a team. Superman can pretty much do anything. Um, if they made a movie about these five heroes and didn't include Superman, it would and they beat Steppenwolf, it would show that they don't need him and they're able to work as a team. They're useful as a team. And I don't understand how Superman was even revived. Like the mother box can resurrect people now or something. Whatever. Pussy juice. Um, there's really no character for any of these characters, and yeah, Cyborg lost his father, but he gets him right back, so that was pretty pointless. The Flash has like a dad or an uncle in jail. I don't even know who it is. I don't really care. That doesn't really go anywhere. Wonder Woman is stripped of any character she had in her own movie. Aquaman is just this boring blank slate. You could take him out of the movie completely and nothing would change. Batman is a goofball, no character at all. Superman says like three lines in the movie and pretty much stops the plot in its tracks in 3 seconds because he's goddamn Superman. Also, I didn't like how the power scaling was. How can you have Aquaman and Wonder Woman get completely trashed by Steppenwolf and Superman kills them in like 5 seconds? Uh, Superman just made all these characters look like bitches, like weak ass, pointless bitches. Why are these people even like here in the extended universe? If they can't do shit, why not just have Superman do everything? These are just they're boring characters. See, in Avengers, it took the whole team to stop Loki. It wasn't just Thor or Hulk, it was the whole team. That's what made it a good movie. It was about teamwork. Not Superman comes in at the last minute and wins. Had a budget of 300 million. Yeah, this movie had a pretty decent sized budget, and the effects are just like they look like they're from like the early 90s or something, or the 80s. I mean, goddamn. Ugh. Oh man, I think I have more to say about this movie, but it's like, why even cover it? You know, just go watch some clips online, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Because yeah, I'll just I could bash this movie for 3 hours straight if I wanted to. But that'd be kind of a waste of time. I'm just gonna read some of your comments now. What about the new Joker trailer? I'm looking forward to that movie so much. That looks like a really good movie. I'm not gonna react towards it. I don't really see a reason to. I did, however, see the Swamp Thing trailer, and I'm excited for that show. Swamp Thing is a pretty interesting character. They're going for a more horror vibe with that TV show, so that would be kind of cool. Um, Endgame's budget was less than 200 million. Was it really? I'll look that up real quick. Endgame budget. Avengers Endgame budget was actually 356 million. But even so, that's like that basically the same thing as Justice League's budget, and it looked a million times better. That's really sad. I don't know who did the effects in Justice League. I don't know who the effects team was, but damn, they fucked up. Avengers had 220 million, and their special effects were much better. Iron Man had 140 million. I'm so surprised about how good Iron Man special effects were, honestly. Um, why are all the mother boxes on Earth? That's a good question. I think Earth is like the only special planet out there. Thor 2 or Justice League? I want to say Thor 2. It is a boring movie, but it doesn't piss me off as much, so. Is it just me or Billy's personality and Shazam seem unlikable at a certain point in the story? I think that's kind of the point. He realizes he needs to become a hero, so he starts to become more humble, I feel like, after gaining his powers. It's part of his character. No, I'm not watching Batwoman. Fuck Batwoman. Um, if most of it is lesbian scenes, then I'll think about it. What's your thought on DC shows? Never watched Arrow or Flash. I don't really want to. I heard they got kind of horrible, so yeah, I don't really want to start it. I said Dark Knight trilogy was good. I'll probably make a separate video on that. Can we see your opinion on the Sam Raimi, Jesus. The old Spider-Man trilogy. Yeah, I'll probably talk about that too. Overall, I really like the trilogy. I even like Spider-Man 3. Fuck it. I think it's a funny ass movie. Thoughts on Batman 1989? The plot is dumb, but the sets, the acting, the characters are all really good. Michael Keaton and God, what's the Joker's name? The actor? How do I not know this? Uh, someone Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson Joker. Um, Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton are fantastic actors. They had really good chemistry. Um, yeah, I overall do really like that movie, but like I said, the plot could have been a lot better. Mm, have you seen Gotham? I might actually start that. I've heard that's a really good show. Civil War, Shazam, Civil War. Why do you think the DCU is utterly bad now? I think it's getting better. Shazam and Aquaman were the two latest movies, I believe, and they're the best of the series or the franchise. I think they're starting to realize that the movies are getting bad, or they were bad. because Justice League was not received well by both critics and audience, I believe. Oh yeah, the one thing I was going to talk about with Justice League, the end credits scene with Slade and Lex Luthor. Pretty hyped for Slade, seeing how um, the movies are getting progressively better, but at the same time, they could botch it up like they did with Batman vs Superman. I was super hyped for that, but damn, they screwed it up. Deathstroke is one of my favorite villains, and seeing how they're gonna start like some sort of villain Justice League or some Injustice League or whatever is that's a cool concept, and it could be a good opportunity for this franchise to do something different from the Marvel franchise, which is have the villains come together as a group. Because I've noticed the DCU movies, some of them keep their villains alive, like Aquaman and Shazam, and I think that's a really good opportunity for them to come together and form their own alliance and have their own grudges against the superheroes. So they could have something good cooking, but could be disappointing at the same time. Joker and Suicide Squad. I never understood the massive amount of hate for Joker and Suicide Squad. I mean, Jared Leto didn't really do a good job, but people like really didn't like it. They hated it. I thought it was tolerable. I didn't think it was horrible or good, but yeah, I don't know why people freaked out so much about that. What do you think about the Amazing Spider-Man? Uh, One was okay. Two was all over the place and just unbearable at some points. Mm, what's your favorite movie in the Dark Knight trilogy? Obviously, Dark Knight. I mean, Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises are good, but they're not the same level as Dark Knight, in my opinion. Ruhr Gamer says, I like when they spare the villain because they may become good peeps, then new villains can pop up where they pretend to be good and team up with the new bad boys. Yeah, see, keeping villains alive leads to really good opportunities. That's the one thing I hate about the Marvel franchise. The only villain I can think of off the top of my head they kept alive was uh Michael Keaton's character in Homecoming, and yeah, with Justice League they got Lex Luthor, Slade, Orim, whatever the fuck his name is, Aquaman's brother, um, the Doctor Dude from Shazam, and Black Manta. So I mean, there are characters there. There's already a group, honestly. So I thought you were gonna say Loki. Well, Loki's more of an anti-hero for me. Same with the Winter Soldier. Are you excited for Spider-Man 2? Not really. Like, I'm gonna go watch it, but Far From Home. I mean, wasn't the biggest fan of Homecoming. I thought it was an okay movie, and Far From Home looks like it's gonna be just like this same type of movie where I don't know. It'll be like have good character interactions, but the plot will be kind of meh. What do you think about the actor who plays in the new Joker movie? What's his name? It's like Phoenix something. He does a really good job in the trailer. Really looking for that movie. Joker is one of my favorite villains from the comics and movies, so I think it's going to be really good. Just judging from the trailer alone, it looks like a really awesome movie, like a thriller type of movie. Who's your favorite DCU character? Uh, I don't know. Aquaman. I don't really have one. I don't. I'm not really attached to any of these characters because some of them are, or most of them, are not really characters at all. Yeah, I'm just gonna say Aquaman. What do you think about the new X Men trailer? I don't watch X Men movies, so What's your favorite Joker? I think they're all good except for Jared Leto. I think Heath Ledger. I'm gonna pick the obvious choice, Heath Ledger, or I should say the most mainstream choice. Jack Nicholson is second, but who knows? Maybe a Phoenix will become a better Joker. I think he has potential. What's your favorite Marvel movie? Probably Infinity War or Iron Man, one of those. Uh oh yeah, Mark Hamill Joker. I was thinking like live action movies. The Mark Hamill Joker is either he's probably tied with Heath Ledger. I mean, the Heath Ledger Joker was just so good, but he only was in one movie. The Mark Hamill Joker, like he's been my childhood forever, and he's just a really good Joker too. So I think they're tied for number one. Dark Knight or Iron Man One? Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is one of my favorite movies of all time. Iron Man is just a great movie for me. I thought he was bad in Batman: The Killing Joke. The Killing Joke was a pretty terrible movie. Mark Hamill, I feel like he was reading his lines too fast. The last scene in the Killing Joke is really good, but other than that, the movie is pretty meh. What other kind of movies do you like? I'm actually gonna make a separate video talking about my 10 favorite movies of all time. So I'll kind of explain that. I already kind of spoiled that Dark Knight will be in there, so yeah, you'll probably see Dark Knight in that list. What's your favorite movie of all time? I will talk about that in my separate 10 favorite movie list video. I'm not going to spoil it here. Favorite Game of Thrones character? Probably Jamie Lannister. Christopher Reed or This Generation Superman? I like the Christopher Reed Superman a lot better. Who is the hottest Avenger? We haven't seen Hulk nude before. They kind of censored Ragnarok, but I feel like his like green sausage cock was or could have the potential to be like the hottest thing that human eyes could ever see. How is Suicide Squad better than Batman vs Superman? All right, they're both bad movies, but Batman vs Superman was hyped up way more. Batman vs Superman had the potential to be a much better movie, and god damn, they fucked it up. I mean, the best scene in the movie is the beginning scene. Even that scene has a ton of flaws with Ben Affleck running in the city, basically being there to tell the people in the building to get out of the building while it's like collapsing and everything looks like it's 9/11. That's stupid. But the acting in the beginning with Ben Affleck is great, so that's why it's my favorite scene. Christopher Reed Superman movies or Michael Keaton Batman movies. See, those are kind of the same. It's like the first one's really good, the second movie is just okay, and the last two are fucking terrible. So it's gonna be tied for me, honestly. Least favorite superhero movie, probably Justice League, and then close to that is Catwoman with Halle Berry and Steel with Shaquille O'Neal. I like, can't really think of other superhero movies that are just so bad. I just hate it. Actually, Steel is a funny movie at some point, so I wouldn't put it in the worst category. It's a bad movie, don't get me wrong, but Shaq trying to act is pretty funny. Plus, the movie has Shaft in it, so. Um, Worst and best Star Wars. I'm gonna do another live stream, but with Star Wars movies. A lot of people requested that, so I will be doing that in the future. I'm gonna take a couple more questions, and then I'll be done. What are your opinions on Scarface? The bad guy from the DC comics or the movie? I don't really know much about the villain in the comics, but I do really like the movie. So, um, I've not seen Hellboy 3, and I don't plan to. I'm not really a big fan of Hellboy. Have you seen Doom Patrol? Nope. Is Brie Larson a good actor? Yes, but she was horribly cast in Captain Marvel. Mm, Toy Story 4. I honestly wasn't the biggest fan of the third movie. I really liked the first two, but not really looking forward to the fourth movie because the third one was kind of eh. You watch Young Justice? I used to. No, but I don't really feel like it. Continuing it. I had no desire to continue to watch a TV show. I don't really watch that much TV, anyways. Watchmen, haven't seen it. I know there's like a TV show coming out, I believe, and there's a movie out there. I might watch Watchmen, the movie. Who's your favorite director and actor of all time? God, well, I'd say there's a three-way tie between Spielberg, Kubrick, and Tarantino, which are, a lot of people choose them as favorite directors because they're very popular, but they honestly have made they're like the three best directors I know of that have made like a good set of really good movies. And James Cameron is also really good, but I wouldn't really put him in the same tier. Um, Favorite actor: Tobey Maguire, Leonardo DiCaprio. Uh, Trying to think of another actor that's like I've seen a lot of movies that really wow me. Al Pacino. Al Pacino's a great actor. Robert De Niro. I'm just thinking of Godfather names right now. Christian Bale. Christian Bale is a dedicated actor. He gets skinny and fat for roles, and then people CGI him, which is really cool. Robert Downey Jr. is also a really good actor. Um, yeah, honestly, those are the only actors I can think of at the top of my head that I actually noticed the movies and think they're really good actors. Tom Hardy is okay. I like him as Bane. He was kind of weird in Venom. He just acted like this drunkie the whole time, and I mean, that's a I don't know what else to say. All right, I'll take like one more good question. Who's your least favorite actor? Uh, Pretty much anyone who just underacts. I can't stand underacting. It's worked before, like very few times though. Um, Kristen Stewart, that's actually a good choice. Kristen Stewart is a shit actress. Um, yeah, honestly, that's all I gotta say about worst actresses. I'll take one more question. Oh, here's a good one. Thoughts on Venom post credit with Carnage? I forgot the actor's name. I've seen him in stuff. He's a good actor, but he looks so stupid in that fucking wig. I laughed my ass off because I didn't think it was supposed to be a serious scene, but it was. It looks stupid. I'm glad Carnage is on the big screen, but looks so fucking dumb with that wig on. I'm sorry. Just he just looks stupid. Um, Woody Harrelson. Yep, that's his name. Good actor, really good actor, but I don't know how he's gonna do with Carnage. I I don't know. He could be good, but he just looks kind of stupid. So yeah, that's probably the last question I was gonna do. Now I'm gonna end it. What about the next tier list on Star Wars? Yeah, I said I was gonna do that. Next live stream I have will be on Star Wars. So thank you. Oh, someone donated $2 and they said say avocado. No.